Hi, I'm Gil Trotman. I'm going to show you the Campbell Hausfeld has a pump out. It's the VT4900. They've replaced it with the VT4923. But you may have an older Campbell Hausfeld pump which has two lines coming out of the head. It's probably green. Speed Air was one of the brands that they made it for. And the unloader line, which goes to the pressure switch, it used to feed off of the head, okay, to be able to get head pressure. But there's several ways that can be done right now. Currently, what you're looking at is the new pump only has one outlet. It has a 3/8 inch MPT fitting that goes in here, and you have a compression nut that feeds to the, that'll be on your copper transfer line. But if you notice, there isn't that second line for this small unloader tube, which is right here. So they make a kit. The unloader kit that is made up for this particular one is an MP Mike Papa 513901, S as in Sierra, J as in Juliet. This kit may be necessary if your old pump had two lines coming out of the head. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to convert this so that you can use this new pump even though your old pump may have had two lines. I have a check valve here, and if your particular check valve has a plug in it. So here's the check valve, and if it has a plug, you know, a pipe plug right in there, it's very easy. With this kit, what you simply do is remove the pipe plug. We have a compression adapter, and there are instructions with this kit. You put Teflon tape on it, put the compression adapter in here, and now what you have is you have a compression adapter where the nylon line is going to go in. Once you put the ferrules on the nylon line, you can simply take this, slide the nut on the line, as so, put the ferrule on there, slide that on the nylon line. You may have to deburr the nylon line, as I'm having to do here. We'll put it over here, it might be a little bit easier. There we go. So, in putting the ferrule on there, now you have your compression nut that goes here. Push the ferrule onto the line a little bit, seat it into the compression adapter so that this ferrule slides up against there. And what you're going to do is you're simply going to screw this in nice and snug and tight so that it squeezes around the nylon line. Once you have this, you're going to, this is going to be connected already on your air compressor. Your transfer tube, your supply line, you'll have noticed is in here, and it's going to feed to the pump. What you're going to do is you're going to take the larger compression adapter. It has a 3/8 inch male pipe thread on it and a 1/2 inch compression. You're going to simply screw that into the head of the pump, put Teflon tape on it, and the same thing just for this larger copper pipe. You're simply going to slide this off and put the nut on your supply tube. You may be able to simply use the existing ferrule and nut. You may not need the new one, depending upon the configuration. So taking the transfer tube, you're going to slide this transfer tube into the new, this is the new compression adapter that's going to be on the pump, and you're going to simply do the same thing. Take the nut, use a nice, you want to get it nice and snug. You don't want to cramp it down to 50 foot-pounds or anything, but you want to get a wrench and you want to tighten this up. So you'll have one end that will go into the new pump. And let's get a picture here so you can see the bottom of it. And the other end is going to go into the check valve that you just removed the plug from. So that'll be like so. Now, this right here This is the unloader line that feeds to the bottom of the pressure switch. And I'll show you a pressure switch and where it goes. Pressure switches come in all different shapes and sizes. But if you notice on this pressure switch, you have an unloader line. Unloader is actually a Schrader valve the unloader line goes into. It may be coming out the bottom of your pressure switch. It may be coming out at a 90-degree angle. But basically they all look the same. And you're simply going to slide this nylon tube into the pressure switch. You can take the nut off and the ferrule, slide it on there just like we did for the compression adapter, and you're going to tighten this up so that now what's going to happen here is that it's only going to have one line coming from your brand new pump going to your tank, but this is going to be at the bottom of the supply tube. And now when the pressure switch touches this Schrader valve on the side, it unloads the pressure that's from here to the pump head. If you don't unload the pressure and there is no unloader line, when that electric motor goes to start, it's going to fight the pressure in this line and it's going to kick the breaker every single time. So what this does is it simply unloads the air pressure between here and here and gives the electric motor a couple of revolutions to start. So this is the kit that you're going to have with this particular unit. If you get one of these VT pumps and it only has one line coming from the head, you're going to need to get the kit. We tell you on our site to make sure that you get the kit, which again is an MP513901SJ. It's on the site, but you're going to need that. Some of you may have antiques, and the antiques may have a check valve that does not have a plug on the side. What do you do for that? Well, there is a check valve on the site that shows those style check valves, by the way, were fine thread check valves. They were not standard MPT pipe thread. It makes that check valve very expensive. I don't know, to the tune of $75 to $80 because the tank threads are not national pipe thread. If you find that your unit has one of these check valves that has fine threads on the tank, you're going to need to get that more expensive check valve, which is on our site for all the different units that you have. There's a couple of different ways around that, and in another video what I will do is I will show what we have done is we've actually taken the compression adapter here on the head. We're using a different style to where we can actually drill an 1/8" port on the side. It'll still bleed the pressure. So that's something that we're going to do in another video. But this video talks about those pumps that have two lines. They have a check valve, but the hole in the side of the check valve has a plug, or your tank does not have fine threads and does not need that really expensive check valve. So this kit will allow your pump to unload pressure between this area and this area so that the motor can get a start. I hope that clarifies things a little bit. If not, send me some questions and I'll try to answer them. Thank you.